With profound humble gratitude and love to all venerated enlightened masters, we bow to the Almighty in soulful gratefulness for gifting us with their holy blessed presence. May all beings be awakened by their divine grace.
Part 2 of 4.
Etc.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Rancangan kami menawarkan banyak bahasa. Sila kunjungi suprememastertv.com/kehadapan-schedule.
God is always close to you. He is within your own self. The Holy Spirit dwells in us, witness and guardian of what is good and what is evil. Please continue watching for more wisdom from Leo Tolstoy, vegetarian.
Vegan side effect. You will love yourself and others more.
Turkey's natural beauty and cultural attractions make it an enchanting place. When visiting and you happen to receive help from the kind locals, show your appreciation by saying "Teşekkür ederim," which means thank you in Turkish. I am Omar. The nature-loving Turkish people appreciate your caring actions towards the environment, especially your benevolent vegan lifestyle. May all people soon adopt this eco-friendly lifestyle to halt climate change and ensure the sustainability of our planet. Welcome to Appreciate Good Thoughts, Selections from the Pathway of Life by Leo Tolstoy, Vegetarian, Volume 2, Part 1 of 2, on Words of Wisdom. Everyone thinks of changing the world, but no one thinks of changing himself. This insightful saying by Leo Tolstoy is a valuable reminder for all of us to reflect inward. The renowned 19th century Russian author suggested that we ask ourselves what God really wants us to do. As Leo Tolstoy said, "In the name of God, stop a moment, cease your work, look around you." A novel by Tolstoy is not a work of art, but a piece of life, stated Matthew Arnold, a 19th century British poet and critic. In addition to his renowned epic novels, Leo Tolstoy wrote essays and letters that conveyed the spiritual truths he came to realize during the course of his life. Along with adopting and promoting the vegetarian diet, he became deeply interested in spirituality and living by the ethical teachings of Christ. The concepts he conveyed through his writings about peace and the fulfillment of God's will greatly influenced 20th century leaders like Mahatma Gandhi and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Supreme Master Ching Hai spoke about the uplifting nature of Leo Tolstoy's work during a group meditation session with our association members in July 1997 in Los Angeles, USA.
Because Tolstoy was a practitioner, That's why when you read his story, almost a story about spirituality, about God, and very happy, very positive. It's very good to read him, to read his book. You try. If you haven't, you try. You can read more, Such thing is very good for you.
Today, it is a pleasure to present excerpts from Volume 2 of The Pathway of Life, called Thought, where Leo Tolstoy reminds us to take control of our thoughts and recognize which are good and evil and focus on the good thoughts. Thought. Man has power over his thoughts. Our life is good or evil depending on our thoughts, but we can direct our thoughts. Therefore, in order to live a good life, man must labor over his thoughts, nor yield to evil thoughts. Take care to purify your thoughts. If you have no evil thoughts, you will commit no evil deeds. Guard your thoughts, guard your words, guard your actions from evil. Observe these 3 paths in purity, and you will enter the path designed by the All-Wise One. All things are in the power of heaven, excepting our desire to serve God or self. We cannot hinder the birds from flying over our head, but we can prevent them from building a nest on our head. Even so, we cannot stop evil thoughts from flashing through our mind, but it is within our power to prevent them from nesting therein and raising a brood of evil acts. We cannot repel an evil thought once it enters our mind, but we can recognize the thought as evil. And if we know that it is evil, we can refuse to yield to it. The thought comes to us that this or that man is bad. I could not prevent this thought, but if I realize that it is evil, I can remember that it is wrong to judge people and that I am bad myself. And remembering all this, I can restrain myself from judging even in thought. If you would have benefit from your thoughts, try to think entirely independently of your feelings and your condition, without twisting your thoughts into justifying the feelings which you experience or the acts which you commit. Live the life of the Spirit in order to have strength to rule your thoughts. We frequently think that physical strength is the most important thing. We think so because our body willy-nilly always appreciates physical strength. But spiritual strength, the power of thought, appears so insignificant that we refuse to acknowledge it as strength. And yet true power capable of changing our life and the life of all men is in the strength of the Spirit alone. The spiritual directs the physical, not the physical the spiritual. Therefore, in order to change his condition, man must labor on himself in the domain of the spiritual, in the domain of thought. Our life improves or deteriorates in accordance with our consciousness of ourselves as spiritual or material creatures. If we are conscious of being a material creature, we weaken our true life. We strengthen and arouse passions, greed, conflicts, hatred, and fear of death. If we are conscious of being spiritual beings, we stimulate and elevate life, deliver it from passions, conflicts, and hatred. We release love. And the passage from the consciousness of being a material creature into that of a spiritual being is affected by an effort of thought. This is what Seneca wrote to a friend. You do well, friend Licinius, to endeavor with all your strength to maintain yourself in a good and kindly spirit. Every man can at all times attain the same disposition. In order to attain it, it is not necessary to lift up your hands to heaven and to beg the temple watchman to let you come closer to God so that he may hear you better. God is always close to you. He is within your own self. The Holy Spirit dwells in us, witness and guardian of what is good and what is evil. He acts towards us as we act towards him. If we guard him, he guards us also. When you are in doubt, when you do not know which is good and which is evil, you must withdraw from the world. Only worry about the judgment of the world prevents you from seeing what is good and what is evil. Withdraw from the world, in other words, enter within yourself, and all doubt will vanish. The opportunity of communing in thought with the living and the dead is one of the choicest blessings of man. Young people frequently say, I do not wish to live as others think. I must think out things for myself. This is quite right. Your own thoughts are more valuable to you than anybody else's. But why give thought to that which has already been thought out? Take that which is ready and go further. In being able to benefit by the thoughts of others lies the strength of the human race. The efforts which deliver man from sins, errors, and superstitions have their inception in thoughts. One of the principal aids of man in this struggle is his ability to commune with the reasoning activity of the sages and saints who have gone before. Such communion with the thoughts of the saints and sages of old is prayer, that is, repetition of those words wherein these men express their relation to their soul, to other people, to the world, and to its beginning. It has been accepted since of old that prayer is necessary to man. With men of olden days, and still with the majority of men today, prayer is an appeal under certain conditions, in certain locations, accompanied by certain acts and words, addressed to God or to other divinities, and intended to appease them. Christian doctrine knows no such prayers. It teaches that prayer is needful not as an instrument of deliverance from worldly ills, nor as a means of securing worldly blessings, but as a means of strengthening man in good thoughts. True prayer is important and needful for the soul because in such prayer, being alone with God, our thought reaches the highest pinnacle attainable to it.
When you begin eating consciously, with compassion and thoughtfulness, you attain a certain lightness and inner peace, a sense of connectedness to the larger world. Kathy Freston, vegan.
Peace-loving viewers, thank you for watching today's Words of Wisdom. Please join us tomorrow for part 2 of this program. Coming up next is UFOs and extraterrestrials. Stop all bloodshed to achieve a peaceful world, part 1 of 2, right after noteworthy news. May the divine show you the path towards goodness and ethical living.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/WOW.